Alright, here we are at the little park area across the street from my house, and I've got just a little idea for a video. We're just gonna do it for you guys today and see how it goes. While I'm getting things ready, let's talk about today's video. So I saw an interesting video from Probability FPV. He was talking about kind of stepping outside of his comfort zone, doing some things that he's not familiar with, or just kind of going and fly a new spot. And I wanted to kind of expound on that a bit. These are just some little tricks that I like to do in my flying that I don't see every day when I'm going through and looking at other FPV videos. So these are just some ideas of some stuff that you can, try out on your own and see if it fits your flying style and if it's something that's fun for you to do. We are flying the BQE Bot 5, which you can't get this frame anymore, but that's what we're flying today. So the first kind of like trick or maneuver that I want to go over is something that you can do if you do a lot of backwards flying. And it's basically a reverse split S, or some people call it a half Matty. But instead of doing it normally, like that, where you do a half roll and a half forward flip, we're going to do the same maneuver, but we're going to do it backwards. Just like that. So you can see as we're flying backwards, when we do that half roll and half flip, it's going to put our quad facing forward again, so we can keep that momentum going the direction we want to go. And it's just kind of an interesting way to get out of backward flight. So we'll do another one. Some other ways to get out of backwards flight is to do a juicy flick, which is normally like that. Juicy flick is a half forward flip and a roll. Alright, we all know what a juicy flick is, most people do. So you can do that to get out of backward flight as well. So if you're coming under a gap and you want to go backwards, a little juicy flick will get you going in the right direction. The next thing I want to talk about are variations on power loops. When you're doing a power loop, you can add like a variation or a trick at the top of the power loop, say a roll. You can do a flip, or you can do a yaw spin. That was bad. My battery's done. We're gonna need a new battery. Hold on. Let's get a new battery put on here. So yeah, when you're doing your power loops, you can do, little trick variations at the top of your power loop. A roll or a flip, just to kind of add a little bit of spice, add something that makes it kind of your own. Now, one thing to know when you're doing a yaw spin at the top of your power loop, you definitely want altitude. That wasn't a very good one. Let's try again. There we go. And let's couple it with what we already learned. All right, let's do knife edges. So knife edge, we all know a knife edge. You come up to a thin gap and you just kind of roll your quad to the side. I can't believe we survived that. All right, I need to stop goofing around and actually complete this knife edge. Now, a lot of people will just do the knife edge and then either roll out of it like I just did, or they might, oh my goodness, I'm failing these knife edges today. Let's try again. FPV, okay. They might just do a normal knife edge. They might come up to their gap and finish rolling out of the knife edge. Here's a cool variation I want you to try. Come up to your knife edge, and then when you're in your knife edge, look down at the tree. Like that. You're gonna knife edge and then look down at the tree. All right, so let's try that together. We're gonna line up for our knife edge gap. Now you see how I turn sideways and I kind of yaw to look down at the tree? The cool thing about doing that is it will switch your direction. So if you want to knife edge to the tree and maybe go back the other way, that type of knife edge will help you do it. All right, let's do another one, which is a front flip. Front flip through a gap. That's fun. Now you want to make your front flip through the gap look prettier. Let's do a delayed front flip through the gap. So instead of a fast front flip, I probably shouldn't do it that way because the building is right there. But you see what I'm talking about. We go up to our gap and then we just like hold our inverted, kind of like that. That wasn't a very clean one, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. That was sketchy. All right, what's next? We're about done with this battery. So this one I made a video about a little while ago, and I was making a joke because a lot of FPV pilots have tricks named after them, and it's just because it's something that they did in a lot of their videos. You know, you've got the Matty flip, you've got the Vanny roll, you've got the, I don't know, is that it? I don't know, you got the juicy flick, you know, the juicy style or whatever. So people come up with all kinds of names. You got tricks that have so many different names, and so yeah, I got a lot of hate, not really hate, but a lot of people saying like, hey, that's just this on this trick that we're about to do. But I still want to encourage you guys to try it. So this is a trick that you can do if you are familiar with how to do a Rubik's Cube. Then this trick is for you. And some people call it a Cubik's Rube because it's like a Rubik's Cube backwards. Some people call it a reverse Rubik's Cube. Some people call it a whatchamacallit. I mean, who knows? So we're going to go over that now. So we're going to go out in the field for this one. So if you know how to do a Rubik's Cube, it's a pretty standard trick. You do a half flip. I'm getting bad video. You do a half flip, full roll, and then another half flip to get out of it. You can do front flip or you can do back flip. We know the Rubik's Cube. Now the Cubik's Rube or the reverse Rubik's Cube or what I jokingly called the tri-cube is the same kind of maneuver. Instead, what we're going to do is reverse the inputs. So instead of doing a flip, roll, flip, we're going to do a roll, flip, roll. And that was one right there. We'll do another one. That was a pretty quick one. We'll do a slower one. Now the reason I like doing these is because I think that they are a lot easier to do to maintain your orientation. And here's why: because when you do that roll and flip, you can basically be looking, you're already looking at the ground. When you do a normal Rubik's Cube, you're trying to keep that horizon locked. With this one, you do the roll, flip, and then you're looking at the ground, so you can keep rolling and you kind of know where you're going a little bit faster than with a Rubik's Cube. So using your environment to your advantage is the next one. And by using your environment, I don't mean just like gaps and stuff. I mean like finding stuff, doing taps. There's like a normal tap. There's like a side tap. Then you've got your like 180 tap, where you end up facing kind of the ground. Then you've got, you know, flip tap. You've got bonks on tables. You can do taps on trees. Or on the ground, I guess. Just different kinds of things that you can do to spice up your flying. You don't always have to be ripping balls. Sometimes you can just be cruising around and do something goofy with your drone. Let's try and let's try and perch her right here on the swing set. That's going to be difficult for me because I was going against the wind. Here we go. We're going to come in here. There we go, we're on her. So little perches like that. Ooh, we made it. We survived that. I don't know how we survived that. Yeah, little perches, things like that. This is a blank sign with nothing on it. Let's bonk it. Let's bonk it again. All right, gaps under tables. We're hitting those proximities. We're getting our throttle control under control. All right. That was sketchy. Try that again. Okay. All right. There we go. A little backwards action. We're just goofing right now, you know? A little split S. Little. I actually got scared on that one. Okay. Then we got, you know, exploring. You know, there's all kinds of interesting things you can do with your drone. You don't always have to be doing the most. You know? Whoa! That was scary. Alright, well, anyways, this battery's toast. We'll stop our GoPro there. That's fun. And you see, I'm out here having fun. Like, I'm not really flying for the footage right now. I'm just goofing off, kind of just seeing what I can do. And it will make for interesting footage. So if you are reaching a point where you're like, you don't know where to go from here, you don't know, you feel like you've mastered most of the tricks, or you feel like you're flying to your full capacity and you're not really progressing, just try to look at things a little bit differently. Slow it down a bit, goof around, just do some exploration, try some things that you've never tried before, try some different ways to get in and out of lines that you're used to. Don't, if you find yourself in that rut, the best thing you can do is yank the wheel and see what happens. So I've got one more pack. I think I'm just going to strap it on and just fly around for you guys for that one, and then that'll be it for the video. So
civil authorities in your area have reported that the bodies of the dead are rising and attacking the living. Follow the messages on the screen that will be updated as information becomes available.
Lining.
Do not attempt to approach or let your enemies rise. Darkness is extremely dangerous. Zombie.